everyone. It's the Aces NFL show. It's week 13 coming up, but we're not going to talk about that just yet. It was a huge week 12. I love that you're wearing the Philly top this week because there's a lot going on. We've got the Ravens playing Philly, but let's talk about AJ Brown off the top.
Massive. Mate, he was huge. I needed him in our fantasy, and he stood up and delivered for me, which was massive. Myself and Guinea were looking at it while doing the weights on the Monday or whatever, Tuesday. We're like, geez, I hope he gets the job done.
Of course he
Pop
was.
up, little thank you very much, and away he goes. Sorry, Benny. 2-0 against you now, mate, so I'm on fire.
Jeez, hasn't Benny Graham dropped off in our fantasy league? But
Jeez.
don't worry about fantasy. What about the punters out there? I couldn't have sold you. I couldn't have sold you the dream any harder. I think I'm 3 from 3 on the dream, and I don't know if I've got one this week. I want to give one, but I don't have one. But I tell you, you can't push it any harder. You had 100 and something yards. You had a touchdown. Mind you, I got a bit nervous on the touchdown because, mate, I was celebrating with me mate, and then all of a sudden, like the ball's on the ground. And I go, what happened? And I was like, yes, I thought he caught it.
He 3 steps and away you go, mate. Happy days, but I was very, very nervous. I didn't know I was going to go, but I'm a happy man. But Herbert.
Don't get me started. Let's start with the best bets. So this is the Herbert thing wasn't a massive issue because of one of the bets we put on early.
I know, which everybody should have been able to see. But yeah,
and I had Kelsey and Noah Gray gets 2 touchdowns. So we said
4 in the last 2 weeks.
4.
What are you doing?
Mahomes kidding himself.
So annoying. I mean, I'll take it because he got the 2 passing touchdowns, which I had in there, which was fantastic. But
and you got the 3.
Throw it to the main man for crying out loud.
What the main man have in yards?
He had a fair bit. I reckon he got to about. I still reckon he got about 70 odd yards or something like that. So he's still, but he's just he can't get in the end zone.
Yeah,
throw it to him wherever you want, mate. He's going to find gaps in the zone coverage and everything, but. Maybe we have to leave him alone for the TD and just get him on the receiving. Maybe that way. But then no, and behold, that won't happen either.
I know you say that, and then Noah Gray went for 66 yards at like receiving, which is massive, and that's that tight end position. So Panthers, if you're playing them, you just load up, and Kelsey 62 and 6. So there you go. They're both tight ends led the charge. We did say that. Well, got it wrong, but got it right. If you know what I mean. And then Herbert.
Yeah.
So I got on yours, and it's about $11, and it was a cracking bet. And I'm thinking Herbert 225, absolute snack.
Has to be.
They run the ball early. J.K. Dobbins goes out. They hardly have the ball in the second half.
Yeah.
The last drive, he doesn't get a yard because of PI.
Oh, I messaged you too. I was saying to you, I was like, what's he on? 185. They've got the ball. They clearly need to throw it to be able to, win the game and get in touch. I had to go down the field. I'm like, home and hosed here, 8 yards short.
And then
he was good.
Your mate, Quentin Johnson.
Oh, my goodness,
me. I feel sorry for him, to be honest, mate. He's had an absolute Barry Crocker.
I'm telling you.
Oh, my God. He had lubricant on his hands.
Oh, mate, he had to have soap on those hands. I'll tell you what.
I've dropped one in my life. I haven't dropped fucking 5. Oh, my Lord.
Mate, he has been hit hard this week too. And you cost me.
Have you seen the guy in fantasy who lost? He needed 1 reception to win.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Just 1 catch.
Can you imagine watching that game needing 1 catch? Not even a yard.
Nah, just a catch. And he drops it 3
the one where he went across the middle, and he had Lad McConkey in front of him. It's a touchdown, I reckon.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, you got to be joking.
Unbelievable.
Anyway, I loved Herbert, by the way. Herbert's a really nice guy. Herbert come out and said, it's on me. I need to throw him better.
Yep.
It's not, but he's a great teammate. And I love him. I think
leadership right there for him is great.
It's a good – they got something brewing over there.
They do. I really think they established themselves what they're got, and they had a couple – bits of firepower here and there, and I think that they had to be the team to challenge the Chiefs in the end. So
they're going to need to get a wide receiver next year.
100%.
Who's out of contract? Like Jamar Chase.
That's a great question. Probably something that we have to look at a little bit later on and see what happens in terms of free agency and things like that. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like they could still try and do a trade. I don't know what their salary cap issue and stuff like that, but. I mean, if you go up the road to San Francisco, there's a couple of guys up there that might get pushed out the door that have to be considered, and Deebo Samuel might be one of those guys.
Deebo looks like he hasn't done a preseason.
He looks a bit chunky, doesn't he?
Chunky and sloppy, and
I don't know. And he's hitting people up like it's everybody else's fault. Like that thing that we saw a few weeks ago against the long snapper. I was like, mate, where are you at right now? And he hasn't been able to deliver much. He's killed us on our fantasy too. So he might be getting dropped this week, to be honest.
Haven't they been a story? We'll get into that. But let's get through our best bets. We both went 3 from 4. And the baddest of beats, obviously, Kelsey not getting a touchdown and Noah Gray stealing 2 of them. Both tight ends going for 120 combined. And then Sips had Herbert passing yards, 225, which was...
Just got me.
Lost by 7 yards.
7 yards. 7 or 8 yards, yeah.
Which would have made us 7 from 8. Yeah. Kind of feel okay the fact that I didn't let us down, but no, I'm only joking. I had money on yours, so. But mate, we're right there. It's weird that the easy ones have let us down.
Yeah, we're right there.
I've just got to tell you a quick story, but I had a little multi on the side. It was something, and anyway,
he always has his multis on the side. Fair dinkum. Hey, a little cheeky. Hey, got up too, big boy.
Obviously, the best bets went down, so I'm flat. But there's one that I had that was a bit of a silly one, and it had Keenan Allen for a touchdown.
Oh yeah,
He's paying $5, and it had Terry McLaurin, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, there's 2 legs ticked. I think it was Waddle.
Yeah.
For yards.
Yep.
Because I thought I've already got him for the tutty in me best. And it was, I think it was Mahomes for 2 passing, right? Tick. And then there's 4 minutes to go, right, in both games. Yeah. And I'm looking through my multis and I'm like, for fuck's sake, I'm going to get done by fucking Kelsey on my best.
Terry.
And this one's just horrific.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen touchdown, bang. I quickly go to the Washington game. I'm not joking you. He fucking throws this ball and Terry McLaurin catches it. And I'm like, I need the tutty, not yards. And I'm like, and then he goes the distance. I've just collected. It was one of the great. I'll send you the slip. It's a slip. Mate, I'll send this slip in. I go, finally it's going my way. I thought Kelsey might be able to go late, just the deluxe turning.
The ending to that game, though.
And then the kicker.
13-9 with 4 minutes or 3 minutes to go, and it ends up being 34-26.
How good is
it? Just like his little spin move where you go, ta-da, see you later. I
actually studied
twice.
I studied Turpin because I go, how's he not being paid? It's his last year of his rookie contract. Yeah. That's why. He's something else, man.
He's different. So he got his name based off what he did on the weekend, right? So he's played the UFL or whatever, it was the USFL that just got recently changed, and he was like running touchdowns from kick returns and punt returns like there's no tomorrow. It's like, where has this guy come from? And the Dallas give him a go, and he's a scary dude to kick to. He's a scary dude.
That's 2 tutties in a row.
Yeah, and I think he's already had a punt return one as well. Like his first year doing it was like unbelievable. It's like my coach was telling me kick it out of bounds. Just kick it out of bounds, honestly. Like, we do not want to deal with this dude at all. Like, he's like 150 pounds, so he's like lightweight. But just, you saw the moves that he had on the weekend. It's pretty special. So
he drops the ball, picks it up one-handed, calm as, gets it, and
then he watched them come at him, full 360 spin, and then all of a sudden the whole field is open for him. It's like, you're not stopping this, man.
And the Jets get turned on, and he literally can't stop him.
He is so fast. So it was pretty impressive. But geez, what an ending!
And then
wow, it was the most boring game you could possibly watch to the most entertaining game. Yeah. Just like that.
I could not believe. I mean, this is just typical defensive stuff, but they get the pick or whatever it was at the end, or the fumble, and the defensive player runs it in for a tutty, and if he goes down, it's game over. Yeah. And when he's running, you can see McCarthy going, go down, and he's like, what's he doing? And I'm like, oh my God, they've given Daniels another chance for a Hail Mary. I'm like, what's he thinking? Anyway, they didn't get it, but there's a chance.
That's right.
I'm thinking, I can't believe
defensive guys do not know what that means at all. If I've got the ball, I'm going. I am going.
I reckon that we'll talk about this week's games. By the way, guys, just a heads up before we get past week 12 talking points. But week 13, Thanksgiving, it's got a lot on the menu. And Dallas playing Giants. I think Dallas might have their mojo after last week. So I reckon there's something there for us.
And the Giants stink.
I know.
So
jump in the gun. Let's news. Jeff Bezos, potential new Jets owner. Wouldn't that be good? Because what I'm seeing from old mate, he's sacked everyone. Wow. He's recruited everyone. To be honest, he's a bit stiff. Well, but Jeff Bezos, potential Jets owner.
At least the Jets might be finally able to deliver. At least they finally might be able to deliver. Hey? How about that?
That's all I'm talking about from you. I
mean, what else do you want? Just get the man who start up Amazon, Hey, big delivery service. Why not get him into the Jets and see how it goes, eh?
What's he gonna do? He needs to deliver a quarterback because I think Aaron Rodgers is done.
He needs to deliver a lot more, but hey, he's the man to do it. He's the man to do it, I tell you that.
Oh, that is very good. Now I know why you said keep that in the show notes.
I was thinking about it on the drive in. I was like, I'm really happy with this one. Let's go. But no, it would be big for him though. Like, it has to be. I think they need a whole change up. They need something to change. Those fans have been hurting for so long.
All right, week 12 talking points. Let's fly. And I'll get some Insta posts that I've been bombing you with. Bo Nix, offensive rookie of the year.
My man Alex Singleton had a little comment last week, which was excellent. I played with Alex at Philadelphia in my first year, so I was like, well, that's pretty cool. If he gets on there and says something like that, I'll take that absolutely, even if it is about his teammate. But he is going very, very well. Very, very well. Still a couple more to go. Still a couple more to go.
It's fair. I know what you're saying. We're going to get to a week, right? And I'm going to go, is this the week you're going to apologise? Because it's going to be a great game.
100%.
Where he's not favoured to win.
Yeah.
And 100%. You're going to look down the barrel.
I will have to. I will definitely have to do that if he stands up and does it. And look, he is standing up and delivering right now when he needs to, all right? It's not like he's shitting the bed when he's playing against poor opposition and it's like it's a young guy. He is really delivering right now. So I think he probably has to be the favourite, to be honest, for Rookie of the Year. So Daniel's started off hot, but has probably slowly deteriorated a little bit. And Bo honestly has been very, very consistent and the stats prove that. So yeah, credit to him.
You've sold me a lemon. I said at the start of the year, Hibbo sold me the dream on Melbourne. You told me this bloke's a spud. I've just been doing me ass every week, waiting for him to slip up. Eh? It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, and he's got him in contention in terms of making the playoffs. So good on him.
They had another receiver next year, I reckon. They had a running back that's actually good because they've got about three.
Yeah, their defense is sound. They don't really need to change much. So it's,
they've turned that place around.
They do. They have. It's really good.
All of a sudden, the idea of me thinking Manning will go there and Bo Nix is no good. It's actually Bo Nix is elite. Yeah. Manning might go to the Giants.
Yes. Yeah.
In a couple of years. All right, Bryce Young, promising. Jeez, he was good against the Chiefs. That's a tough defense.
Yeah, 100%.
Mate, he was getting blitzed and he was that calm. I'm starting to think that the coach is starting to, him and the coach are starting to build something special. I reckon there's some good chemistry there. And if you're a Panthers man, I reckon you're starting to see some promising signs and start to think, you know what, our future could be bright because we know rookie quarterbacks take time. We know the best quarterback goes to the worst team. And I'm just starting to think maybe the Drew Brees lookalike that we always thought was there, maybe we're starting to get it because his game is getting better and better. And yes, he's small, but when he gets out of the pocket, it doesn't matter. I just thought it was a really impressive performance. And the only other thing I'll say is, were the Chiefs, do they take the foot off the pedal? Are they a bit gassed? It's been a long year.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. Sure. So I'm going to look at Bryce this week. But if he has another good week, I think they're playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
They are. I think
that's a massive game in the South.
That's a good opportunity for him again.
If he can win that, I'm going to start saying, well, you know what? Maybe he's all right.
Yeah. Another one, a bit of a watch this space, but the signs are definitely there for him to be able to, that he's showing the few weeks that he had off.
He could be one of my better bets in the program for passing yards.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
His line and algorithm, you know how the algorithm
They need another wide. They probably need another wide receiver as well. They're probably a team. They need another wide receiver in that. But no, I couldn't agree more. Signs are very, very promising for young Brycey.
Righto, Miami Dolphins are back.
I think so.
And what about? Hey. I told you.
He reckons he's leaving it alone for a little bit, though. No Selly.
No, we did another one.
He was leaving it. He goes, I'm going to put it away for a little bit, boys. I'm going to try and do something else here. But, hey, he was back.
He needs to bring the
He was on fire.
Mate.
They were flying. And, they probably should do that to the Patriots in the end. But, I know that's 3 in a row now. And they do look a little dangerous right now. I mean, they've got a big game this week against the Packers.
I think they can get that done.
And that's what I'm saying. If they get that done, I mean they're right up there now to kind of pinch that last playoff spot. So,
we need teams like that in playoffs. Like wildcard week is so good because you've got teams like Miami who all of a sudden building form. Like you think about who they've got. They've got the corners are elite. They've obviously got a lot of injuries, on defense, that linebacker role and all that. But with Tua back, keep him protected. Like when you got these weapons. Like Jonnu Smith has added so much firepower. Tyreek Hill's not even required, but Tyreek Hill does get a good matchup this week because I think our man might be out the corner, Alexander still, and
Waddle,
A-Chain. Waddle is A-Chain. Mostert's been doing nothing.
Yeah. And he had the most touchdowns last year, in the season, and they haven't even been required because A-Chain's off the charts. And I like what I'm seeing from them right now.
They're a fun team to bet on as well.
I agree
because there's not much going on besides Jonas Smith, Tyreek Hill, and Waddle.
Agree.
And A-Chain. Yeah. And if you get a team that can defend the run, it's just going to be it's an easy 100%. Game to kind of pick.
Yeah, so I feel like they're on track and they're really pushing the issue right now.
The playoff picture is starting to heat up, like you said. 2 points here. San Fran in a lot of strife, and the Giants really suck.
No doubt.
Let's not talk about the Giants. We'll talk about them later. What is San Fran? Are they cooked? That is tight, that division. Quarterbacks.
No, they're not cooked, are they? Because of how close the division is. Like they're one game from being in first spot if they want to be. So no, it's not. But bigger picture for them is that they expected to win this division and pretty comfortably, I think, in my opinion. And they expected to be trying to, holding up that trophy at the end of the year. And they are nowhere near that right now. And I don't know what's happened with chemistry, personnel. I know they've had injuries on both sides of the ball, but something is clearly going on in that building that's not very good, and it's showing out on the field right now. And as we spoke about, Debo, nowhere to be seen. One of the most highly skilled, powerful guys in the game, and he's nowhere to be seen. McCaffrey's taking a bit of time to get back. Purdy's out injured.
Kittle's been the shining star.
Kittle's been the one consistent guy for him, and they're just really, really struggling. This highly offensive powered team is scoring 10 points.
It's amazing we won't talk about this too long because this is a weekly show, but we did talk about Ayuk a lot and how the dramas he's creating, and it's just been nonstop dramas, injuries, issues all year.
And it's you can tell it's starting to affect the coaches too. Like Shanahan losing his mind on the weekend, and it's starting to affect them, I think, emotionally and mentally too. So, they've got to find something very, very quickly, or else they're not going to make it.
Washington also, I think it's time to say they might be just pretenders.
Yeah, a little fraud-like, I reckon. Well, Daniels is still very good in that, but you can't drop that game. You can't drop that game. No, that's not a game.
And it was massive for your boys. Massive.
Oh, huge. Huge. The only time I'm thanking the Cowboys is after what they did on the weekend and put 2 games clear in happy days. But you can't drop that game. Yeah. We know how bad the Cowboys have been. They haven't gotten any better. It's not like Cooper Rush did anything to win that game on the weekend, really.
He's been okay though since that first game.
Yeah.
We're going to put Trey Lance in. It's maybe keep him there because he's at least he can pass the ball and move the sticks.
But he's not doing anything explosive and things like that. Like he's giving it to his man, and CD, fair enough. Yep, absolutely. But that was one that got away from Washington. Now they've let 2 or 3 slip. So
I think they've lost 3 in a row.
I think they've lost 3 in a row now. So it's it's interesting to see what happens there.
I'm just looking at the running back scenario because this week, as we keep saying, the Giants, their run defense is so bad. Yeah. Bucky Irving, you took him for 50 or 60 yards, mate. What did he go for, 100?
Yeah. Went for 100, caught it for another 60 and had a tutty. Yeah. It was a field day for him.
Crazy work. Yeah. I'm just looking at Dowdle. So Dowdle had 86 rushing yards. Yeah. And I reckon this week's a week you could load up on him for tutty, but because they haven't had a rushing touchdown since week 1, I think, and they haven't won at home. But anyway, we're going to get to that in a second. But I'm just starting to like Dallas's defense because Micah Parsons, you don't realize
he's massive.
Mate, you don't realize. Well, we do, but when you're watching, if you see TJ Watt out and then back in, it's a completely different game. It's crazy how one player can, and that's why they get paid so much money. So he's back. Dallas looked good when he's playing.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, last point. Saquon. Derrick Henry's also a monster. Arrow at the back there, but Saquon Barkley.
Can he MVP right now?
I was just about to say, put a case for me. Does he win MVP?
Well, he's on right now. He's on track to break the single season record in rushing yards. That's a pretty good start.
So let's just start there. If he breaks the record, which I think he will, have you looked at who he's got? He's got Carolina, I think, twice. He's got an MA.
So this week's going to could be tough. Like the Ravens are pretty stout in the run game.
Yeah.
But Philly are also very good at obviously doing what they do in terms of the offensive lines. That's going to be cracking. If
Smith's not playing, Saquon can go 100 easy.
Massive. But he's got Carolina. They could probably just feed him the balls honestly 40 times and he'll probably rush for 300.
Yep.
Well,
yeah.
they'll play the Cowboys again at home.
Their run D's been horrendous.
Run D's been a bit average, and I still think even with Micah in there, I still think they get that done. They've got Washington again, and I just think that he's got the great finish to
Baltimore,
come on
Carolina,
strong.
Pittsburgh, Washington, Dallas, Giants, and on our app it has Carolina as a green as green.
Green as green.
And he gets to play Washington, Dallas, and Giants to finish. You'd think that those games to finish will also be for the one.
Yep.
Like they'll be fighting it out. Yep. So it's not like they'll be slowing down.
No.
And they'll know the records
100%.
there. If he breaks the record, should he be MVP?
Yes, I do.
Even if Lamar keeps doing what he's doing?
Yeah. I think if he breaks a single season record as a rushing guy, I think he has to win MVP. I mean, that's just outstanding numbers.
I sent you some stuff on him, I think, this morning. I'm going to get it up. It was to do with getting paid, and it does.
Oh yeah, so it was the cap. So it was like Barry Saunders when he was at Detroit. It was like 15% of the cap.
Yep.
And then who else did you have at about 12? Adrian Peterson.
Adrian Peterson in 2011 was on $13.7 million, right?
And that was by far the highest paying running back by a damn long way, which he absolutely deserved because he's a star. And then Saquon is...
But in 2024, 13 years later, Saquon's on less. 12.6.
Yeah.
How can...
And he's only 4% to the cap or something like that.
Yeah, so the cap is 4.9% Saquon Barkley. Barry Sanders was on 15.8% of the cap back in the day in 1997.
Yeah.
And Adrian Peterson had 11.8%. But how can Saquon Barkley be getting paid less than Adrian Peterson 13 years later?
Well, this is the issue, right? This is the issue that we have in the NFL.
But
is
how?
that the disrespect of the running back is incredible.
But
and
how?
It's a great question. I have no idea
Like Derrick
how.
Henry,
It's
Jacobs.
Derrick Henry, Jacobs, and Saquon Barkley have all left, been paid that they fucking should be, and
top 3.
1, 2, and 3
in the league.
1, 2, and 3 in the league right now, and they've all gone. You know what? Even funnier, the teams that they left are 1, 2, and 3 for the bottom, or their records like 2 and 9. Isn't it? It was amazing. It's an amazing stat or something like that. It was 24 and 7 are the top 3 teams right now with those guys, and the bottom 3 that they've left is like 7 and 24.
Yeah, here it is here.
Unbelievable.
The previous employers of Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, and Josh Jacobs surveyed the landscape and decided not to prioritize keeping the alpha running backs. Now they rank 1, 2, 3 among NFL rushing leaders for teams, and that collectively are 24 and 9.
Yep.
The teams that let them walk are collectively 7 and 26.
There you go.
7 and 26.
Yeah.
Clowns.
Absolutely.
Honestly, clowns.
Absolutely.
Not paying him any money, doesn't take any cap, clowns.
Yeah.
And I've never understood it.
Yeah, I don't understand it either, to be honest. And
that's break the record.
That's about to change. That is about to change.
Well,
it has to change.
I just don't understand.
Because you've got other guys that are absolutely on fire right now that aren't getting paid that much either too. Is Gibbs. Obviously, he's on his rookie deal, but Gibbs is on fire at Detroit. They're going to have to pay him. They're going to have to sort that out.
Oh, yeah, he's going to get paid.
Like, absolutely.
But it's a difference between a running back like a bloke that pounds the rock.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry's he's an outlier.
Yeah.
He's a different beast.
Yeah.
But a bloke that can catch the ball as well, like your Gibbs, your Barkley, there's plenty Kamara.
Yeah.
They're just playmakers, and they change the defense.
100%.
You can't defend them very easily.
100%.
So I've never worked them out.
Yeah.
And quarterbacks. How can you pay a quarterback? I looked at this thing the other day. Quarterbacks that are on, in the top 5, they just never win Super Bowls. So why do they pay him that much money? I get it. They might lose them. But, how can you justify – I mean, Danny Dimes is a perfect example. Why does he need $40 million? Why can't he have 25?
Yeah.
What do you need? What does $40 million do for your skyrocket?
Don't know.
That 25 doesn't.
Don't know.
And then you can give some to some bloke like Saquon so he can stay with you. And then you can give an offensive lineman to protect you. I've never understood it.
Yeah.
You talk about AFL, we're back, both our backgrounds, but then you went and played NFL. And we always used to always hear about Geelong back in the day. They'd never take too much because they wanted to make sure they could keep everyone.
Yeah.
The NFL, different beast. And the running back, it has to get corrected.
It has to be corrected too. I agree. Yeah.
Anyway.
Well said.
We're getting on here.
No, well said.
It's time for everyone's not an overreaction and talking points. let's get through them. While I'm talking about it, I got one more point there, but Jameis Winston, he needs to be mocked up every game. Is he not the fucking best bloke?
He is pure entertainment.
What is wrong with that
God
man?
has blessed me to play football in the snow. How good. How good. Outstanding.
What
I
was
love
his
it.
thing, his quote before the game about putting it in goal?
Oh, it's so good.
Anyway, let's get into it. So the Aces, talking points, get through the best ones here. Jakey Andrews, he said Saquon out to prove a point, MVP. Well, we just spoke about that, and we agree. Wouldn't it be good? I'm a Lamar Jackson man. I'd love to see 3, but I'd rather see Saquon
What he's
win
doing
one.
is very special right now.
Righto, the real Andy Reid. Love the handle. Quentin Johnson, the Aces villain of the week. Any chance of catching the bloody ball? Obviously, our man, the real Danny Reid, I should say, not Andy Reid. Danny Reid was on Sips Multi like we all were, and we needed 8 yards. Don't worry. One of those catches from Johnson would have been nice.
Seriously. Oh, we've already said that too.
And here's the gloves on as well.
No.
Jackson Smith and the Jigba, just a little message here from Damo.
Yeah.
Love that. Sam Casey, Travis fucking Kelsey. Don't even have to say anything else. Anyway, go Chiefs. He's a Chiefs man, Sammy Casey. Well, mate, it hurts us all. Don't worry about that. That was a fill up. Jeddy Millard, Saquon for MVP. Keen to hear Tommy and Sip's thoughts. Well, Jed, you would just love what we spoke about. We love it as well. We think he should. Scotty Price, 33. Panthers have shown more ticker than the Jags and Raiders this season.
I agree. It looked like they were dead to water very, very early, and it was going to be a very long year, and it was going to be genuine easy beats of the competition. And they are showing a little more heart than I would say the Jaguars and who was the other one? The Giants, did he say? Or
Raiders.
Raiders, yeah. I would agree.
Got 2 here. Tyler Hinbrain. Cortland Sutton is easy top 10 wide receiver in football and the most underrated. Look at who he's played with his whole career. It's similar to Scary Terry.
It's probably a very good point. Yeah, I don't think that's an overreaction at all, to be honest. Yeah, he's padded pretty tough, and now he's finally getting it going with the young fella. So that's probably a good point. That's probably a very good point. I like it.
You look at everyone on the weekend, and I'm not seeing much production from what we thought was the top 10.
Yeah,
but
agree.
I love it. It's a good point. Top 10, I'll have to look at that, but I think
top 10.
Right.
Top 10 could be but I certainly agree with the Scary Terry look as well. But he could be 10.
He's currently ranked 10th in fantasy.
There you go, ranked 10th in fantasy.
Excellent.
Well, he deserves to be.
Absolutely.
He is.
He's putting up the numbers, so it's
Love that, Harrow. Morgsy mate has written in Cooper Cup could have got 6 more for my multi. Well, he certainly could have.
Herbert could have had 8 more, but he didn't get it.
Got it. Could have got 40 more.
Oh, no.
Fuck, what was I thinking? Got it. Fuck.
Well, Smitty was out, so you can make a little bit of sense.
AJ
But
100, Saquon 100, and then and I cooked it. You were right. Puka didn't get Mitchell. Well, Mitchell didn't go to anyone.
they swapped. They swapped. He did between both.
So Mitchell must just zone his side.
He does
because anything that went to Mitchell, nothing. They didn't pass it near him.
And we saw the stats. It was again, only had 26 total yards or something against him when he was in coverage. Man. He's so good.
There was one where Mitchell was on him, and Puka just dukes a perfect throw, and I'm like, this bloke is a beast.
He's so good.
Anyway, Saquon MVP from Harry Walker. Miami will make playoffs. Jack Zapp.
I like that.
I hope so.
I think I can definitely jump on board that.
Here's a good one from Hayden Shade. Panthers next year will be 500 with Bryce Young. He actually wrote Bryce Young and the Panthers will be plus 500 next season. That's a weak division normally.
It is. It hasn't been a strong division over the last couple of years, so you could definitely vouch for it. They need a couple more things.
Maxi Rowe's got a big call. 49ers need to rebuild.
Wow. Well, they're going to have to actually do something because they're paying too many guys. Purdy. So in a weird way to rebuild, they might have to because you're either paying Purdy and you have to offload, or you're saying see you to Purdy and you bring in some other young guy
you can't
again.
Say see to Purdy.
Well, I know. I don't agree with that, but I'm saying they're the only options that they have. Really, they're going to have to pay the kid.
Or
they have to look elsewhere as a young fella and potentially draft with what they've got. That's all. That's the only two things. That's why I think Debo goes, because they're paying too much money for him, and I think he goes because they like Juwan and they've just paid Ayuk, so they're not going to let him go. Kittle's not going anywhere, and then there's a couple of guys on defense and that they may have to look at.
Debo to the Chargers would be perfect. As I think about it.
Yeah, I actually think it would be a perfect fit.
Bo Nix is going to be a star. Timmy Rousel, well, we all agree. Even Sip's starting to agree with that one. All right.
As always, we appreciate it. So that's good. That's good stuff. Let's get
It's Thanksgiving week, baby. And that means 3 games on a Friday.
3 games. You little ripper.
Back to back. And we also get a game on Saturday.
We do.
We get everything
we
this
do.
week. This is one of the best weeks during the season because we get what we want.
We start to get to the period now where a couple more Saturday games start showing up as well towards the later part of the year, which is excellent because the college football stuff gets done very, very soon. So the NFL goes, well, it's my turn to take over. So there's a few Saturday games that'll come up too, but it all starts up this weekend, which is awesome.
Now, Sip, I want you to help us out here.
All right.
What is it about Thanksgiving? We don't want to go overtime here, but just give us a quick little, synopsis. What is Thanksgiving? What does it mean? Why is it such a big thing in America?
Yeah, it's took me a little bit to kind of understand as to why. In some ways, it's bigger than Christmas over there, to be honest. It's a massive thing for them and big time just for family kind of get together and, Americans kind of do go all over the place, whether it's off to college somewhere, work opportunities and things like that. And how it normally works is, everybody kind of comes together as a family for the 3 or 4 days, starting basically on Thanksgiving Day, and just a big time to kind of all catch up as a family after what kind of has been a big year. So it's a massive thing over there, which is awesome. Like I obviously was fortunate enough to be over there to experience it too, and we met some lovely people over there, particularly when I was down south. They're very humble people there that cherish their family moments and stuff, and it's a huge occasion. So it's a special time for them, as I said, probably bigger than their Christmas time, but it honestly is just a time for them to all kind of get back together as a family after they've gone off everywhere with their college or their work and things like that and come back to kind of where everything all started for them. So it's pretty cool. It is very, very cool to see. So
I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome stuff.
It's pretty sick, but I'm just thinking about all the families just putting multis on them. How many multis are on this?
They literally have like from word go, first game on until the last game. You will see football on their screens from 12:30 onwards, their time, of course, till 10 o'clock at night. There's no other way about it. It is the tradition.
Is there anything better having your family and then the NFL and a big
turkey?
Big turkey.
Oh yeah, casseroles, like you little ripper, like. I love collard greens, which are disgusting, by the way, but that's a big thing over there for them. And the green beans, all the rest, mate. The scallop potatoes.
Do you and the Dale do a turkey?
We do not, but I probably should have to start doing it because my oldest daughter is technically from America. She was born over there. She's a Philadelphia girl, and I may have to start doing something about it.
I don't want turkey.
I'll buy you over, son. Get your jersey on.
I'm ready.
I'm looking forward to it. Maybe it's something we might have to do.
The Bears taking on Detroit Lions, and I reckon Amon Ra will be ready.
You reckon?
Because there's some. From the docos I watched, there's something that he just loves. I think does he hate the Bears?
His brother does play against the for the Bears too, so it's always a little bit of extra rivalry.
We love them.
I do.
Amon Ra, St. Brown, and Derrick Henry's streak ended last week, and of course I got on him. I thought, I'll keep it simple. Oh, fucking 1 week I'll get on him. The 1 week I get on him. Anyway,
the run game's going to be big here, I think, for Detroit. I think Chicago might find it hard to stop. So I think the running game's still going to be very, very dangerous here. And on Chicago's side, they're going to have to be throwing the ball. And we finally saw DJ Moore and Keenan Allen get amongst it last week.
Jeez, we were hot last week.
Yeah, and I think it can continue. I'm not sure from the touchdown point of view, but they're gonna play from behind. He's going to have to throw the ball around. DJ Moore's finally got going. Keenan Allen's been able to get going for the last few weeks, and I think that's kind of the way I see this game going. Just running game's going to be hard to stop for Chicago. They'll get their passing game going still, Detroit, but they're going to have to throw it around and really stay involved that way if they want to keep up with them.
You ready for the stats?
Mm-hmm.
The Detroit Lions allow the 7th most passing yards.
Yep. They're very green on the sleeper app.
But they're yet to allow multiple TD passes in a game.
Yeah, okay. That's quite big.
Richardson last week, 172 scoreless yards. He's probably not a good matchup to look at. But I thought you can pass the ball a lot on them, but they're not allowing you to score. I still think that Caleb Williams on prime time can get something going with that offense. Yeah. But there you go. Like the touchdowns and that, it might be hard to score.
Yeah.
But I think with Keenan Allen and even Ramadouje out there as well, and DJ Moore, I just think DJ Moore's a great matchup.
Yeah,
this
I
week.
agree.
Pittman posted 96 receiving yards last week in the same position.
Yeah.
And I reckon DJ Moore's better.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I totally agree.
So I'll be going heavily on DJ Moore for yards. Like it. And then this is where it gets interesting, but it's scary for the Bears running. The Bears linebackers are going to be in for a big day.
A tough day for sure.
They are giving up the most adjusted yards per attempt and the 8th most rushing yards. And now they meet these double-headed monster, Gibbs and Montgomery.
Good luck.
And if we want to go back to some RBs that they've just played, Aaron Jones went for 129 and a tutty, and Josh Jacobs 134 and a tutty in the last 2 weeks.
Good luck.
So who are you picking?
Detroit.
But which running back?
Gibbs.
Do they both just score again?
I think they both score again, but I'll go with Gibbs.
Love it. Anything else?
No.
Receiving yards? I mean, we're going to
Receiving yards, I'm going to lean probably more towards Chicago side because I think that they have to. And Keenan Allen for 50 plus is actually pretty good value.
Justin Jefferson, 27 yards last week. So that's Amon Ra's spot.
Yeah.
But in saying that,
but
Jordan Addison ripped him for 162.
Addison was off the charts.
And guess who plays that role?
St. Brown does.
Nah,
sorry, Jamison Williams does. Sorry, yeah, sorry.
So if you're listening to this podcast, we're breaking down Thanksgiving for you because we want to make it special for you and your family. You eat that turkey while you cash your checks. Jamison Williams is the guy on matchups with both running backs.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, DJ Moore for receiving yards and Caleb Williams for passing yards, but not for multiple touchdowns. Yeah. Detroit should win.
I agree.
Bang.
Love it.
These up. Just a heads up, by the way, guys, we're going to break down Thanksgiving deep, but the other games we're just going to tip. It's very early in the piece. We're recording this on a Wednesday morning due to some serious time schedule things. You know, we've got Thanksgiving. So don't get mad at us. We're going to do a Zoom call on Friday afternoon with our best bets.
Love it.
Righto. New York Giants v. Dallas Cowboys. Give it to me, Sip.
Horrendous game. Horrendous game. I hate it. I hate both teams, so I don't really care. But the Giants don't have anybody left at QB. Going to have to probably be Drew Lock popping up out of nowhere all of a sudden now, and all there is to it. So the Cowboys, however, did get it done last week. They came from out of nowhere. The defense with Micah Parsons, as we also already spoke about, starting to figure it out a little bit. Diggs didn't play. Does he come back this week? I'm not sure. But they're starting to kind of get a little bit better on the defensive side of the ball. I think they should be able to beat the Giants because they are flat out putrid. And again, we're probably going to go to the run game because the Giants can't stop anything right now. And I think it's just going to be plain and simple. I think the odds right there are actually being too nice, if you ask me, to be honest. And I just think Dallas are going to be too good. They're starting to figure it out a little bit. They should gain some confidence after last week's win against Washington on the road. And the Giants are just in complete misery. I don't see anything else happening. Maybe Tracy can get going a little bit for him on the ground. Malik Neighbors has probably a good opportunity. You know, Drew Locks, I think, is a better quarterback than old Tommy and Tommy Cutlets. Is that what we call him? Tommy Cutlets.
What about Baker Mayfield?
Unreal. Loved. I saw that live and he was just like,
how aggressive was he? He's like,
it was up and about. It was unreal. And like, you know, it wasn't even half time yet and he's already letting it rip. I'm like, don't go too early. Oh, that is Baker for you, which I love. But it's a shame that this game is what it is right now, to be honest. But
if Dak Prescott was there, this would be amazing. He'd just slice through them.
It's a bloodbath.
Yeah.
Absolute
I still think they can slice through them.
I do too, but it's an absolute bloodbath, if you ask me. But I still think the Cowboys get it done, and the run game's going to be big for them.
I've only got one bet for this.
You probably get Rico.
Yeah, Rico Dowdle Tutty. Yeah. I think Detroit Lions, if you multi it up, it doesn't boost it up. Yeah. So it's a real... it's a hard one to. Yeah. I don't think I'll have a look at it. No. I mean, I will, but
we know you.
There's just nothing. There's no odds. There's nothing exciting. You just think that Dallas give up a bit in the pass game. Yeah. You'd think Neighbors after last week, kind of defending his quarterback. Yeah. Just saying there's something else going on. So you'd think he gets a few more targets. Squeaky wheel always gets the oil. But I thought Dowdle was impressive last week.
Yeah.
87 rushing yards against Washington. They're a tough defense.
They are.
And I reckon that he can get that ton. They've been looking for the ton for a
They
while.
have.
He might be able to get that whether it's rushing and receiving.
Yep.
But it's just Dowdle for me, and that's
Yep.
it.
Yep.
I don't have much else.
Good point.
The next game's the best one, though.
This one's a ripper.
Dolphins at the Packers.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of talk about the Dolphins playing in the cold weather. They've been horrific. But they couldn't have better timing. I need to check if our man Alexander's still out. I think he is.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but we'll have to check. That could change things a
I'll
fair
find that
bit,
out right
but
now
yeah.
while you tell me what you think is going to happen, because
Well,
I reckon I know what's going to happen.
Mine is a little bit based off, obviously, him as well, but I don't mind Miami, to be honest. I actually really like the look of it. I think the way they've been able to get going on offense has been very, very good, but Green Bay defense is low-key be very, very strong. They've put up some serious numbers, and teams are finding it hard to run against them. They're obviously their corners are doing a fantastic job. So they're a well-oiled machine right now, the Green Bay Packers. But if the Miami Dolphins can find a way to get on top in one of those areas, I seriously think that they're a good shot to be able to win. But you look at the other side, Miami's defense has been pretty strong over the last couple of weeks too, and I really don't. I actually don't know which way to go here. Like
Really?
this is, I really don't. I think the odds here are actually probably a little too high, to be honest, in terms of the Miami side. I actually think it's going to be a bit closer than what they're anticipating. So,
I'm loving Miami here.
yeah, I like what they're doing right now. It's just all depends on what they can do up there, to be honest. But Green Bay are a well-oiled machine right now. They are all systems go right now. Their running game is on fire now. Jacobs is like putting it all together. I still have a little bit of question marks over Love. Love hasn't quite been as good as what he has been last year. I know there's been injuries and he's been in and out a little bit and stuff like that. But it's going to be tight.
I like Miami.
Yeah.
I really like Miami. If
Like
I can get a clean up in one of these earlier games,
Yeah.
I'm going to load Miami and Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. Okay.
Tyreek
Yeah.
Hill played the role last week. I watched it. I said it. That he had the tough matchup
Yeah.
with the corner.
Yeah.
He just takes him out wide, and Waddle was just cleaning up.
Open.
This week's different. I think with Alexander still injured,
Yeah.
they say he hasn't trained yet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Thanksgiving as well. If you haven't trained, even if he does play, it wouldn't be
agree.
100%.
No,
I reckon they
agree.
can just
It's a
open him
great
up.
point. Yeah.
And the corners for the Dolphins are very good. So I'm thinking Tucker Kraft and the run game.
Yep.
And if they can stop the run game,
They stop the run game.
and they force a couple of turnovers. Jordan Love has thrown a few picks this
100%,
year.
and that's why I'm
I think the
questionable with
Dolphins
him.
can get on top with A-Chain and the boys. I really like what Miami's last months looked like.
Yep.
And if there's a time to play Green Bay,
Yep.
I think it's now.
Yep.
And the odds, just something about prime time and taking the
Yeah.
odds. But look, at least it's going to be a cracking game. I hope the weather isn't too bad. It's going to be cold. We know Miami boys don't like the cold.
Yeah.
They've played. I remember watching them play Philly and whatnot.
Oh,
And
they
they just hate
and
it.
they played in Buffalo, and
They just
it's
hate it.
no good. No good.
All right, let's go to one more game. We're going to deep dive into this, and then we're going to fly through the rest and
Love
get
it.
to our big game, the SIP v Train, Philly v Eagles. Sorry, Philly v Ravens. It's a big game, that.
It is a big one.
Raiders at Chiefs.
This
Yep.
This is
horrific.
yeah. This is Chiefs at home. We know what the Raiders have done in the past in terms of taking the mickey, obviously, out of the Chiefs, and I don't like the look of this one at all, to be honest. It's just all signs of ugliness.
Don't the Chiefs just get an easy run?
Minshew's out.
Jeez.
McConnell's back in. They'll rush the hell out of him. See you later.
Didn't they beat them this time last year?
They did, but it's different now.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
different. No way. No Devontae Adams. See you later.
We did say the Chiefs were vulnerable last week, didn't we?
We did. We
But
did.
we said they should win, but like we did say, it wouldn't surprise us
At
with the
home's
NFL.
different. At home's are different, I think. And when it comes to division games, I think they get themselves up a little bit extra, especially against this mob.
Oh, will they ever? I'm
Yeah.
just looking at who got
Mahomes, I think I like again, obviously, to be able to throw multiple touchdowns. I think he'll be able to do that. And Donald Hopkins might be the guy that he finds in the end zone, my man.
Yeah, I'm looking at what happened last week. They allowed 260 passing the Chiefs against Bryce Young. And I'm also looking at how the Broncos got the Raiders, and it was Cortland Sutton, the main man. You just think a bit of speed, don't you reckon? A bit of speed out the back. Myers was pretty good last week. But, yeah, look, let's just move on. This is a putrid game.
I
don't like
got a great stat for you before
I
we
love it.
Yeah,
move
give
on.
it to us.
So Patrick Mahomes is tied with Len Dawson for the most touchdown passes in Chiefs history. So And Travis Kelce is also tied with Tony Gonzalez for the most touchdown catches in Chiefs history.
Wow.
So Mahomes' next touchdown pass to Travis Kelce would make them becoming both the record breakers in franchise history.
First
so maybe
touchdown.
that's something to load up on.
Yeah, that is great intel from you, Harrow.
Wow.
That is what we needed because I didn't know I don't like anything, but there's a guy that cost us a lot of money last week. And if Harrow's talking absolute
They
truth,
better
which I know
know
he
that
is
too.
because he's
Surely
very
they know that
diligent,
too.
we have a Travis Kelce touchdown coming first. Not just one. We might get 2, 3, 4.
Load up, sons. Load up.
Are we going Travis Kelce?
Yeah, we have to now.
We're following up. There
We
you
have
go.
to
Travis
now.
Kelce. He's going to be
That's
right.
excellent.
That's good mail. Well, we know it's happening.
We have to now.
There's no way known Andy Reid ain't drawing
That's
one up.
excellent.
And we know that Taylor Swift to be in the
Yeah,
she'll be in the
no
stands.
doubt. It's a Chiefs game at home. She's definitely going to be
Who
there.
keeps the ball?
Oh,
Travis or Patrick?
Travis.
I reckon Patrick will want. I reckon it's. Oh yeah, Travis has to keep it because Patrick can keep the next one.
Yeah.
He could get one on the next second one.
That's all right.
All right, let's fly sip.
Chargers at Atlanta. Atlanta fresh. Chargers early break. Tough loss. Defense still very, very stout, and we know how much Kirk Cousins struggles against a good defense. So
Watching the Chargers last week, they give up a lot of receptions to the
Yep.
tight end. So Pitts has been low.
Yep.
I'm going to look at Pitts for some yards in this
Yep.
one. And I like the wide receiver 2 for a touchdown. So Darnell Mooney. Bijan Robinson.
Who we're not too sure. He's coming back from a hamstring, so we're not. He got a little tweak in the hamstring. So
Good call, actually.
he's limited. So I'm not 100% sure whether he gets up just yet. So
If he's out, I'm
Yeah.
going to lean back to Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, okay.
I
Yep.
think they can get it
Yep.
done. I just like the way the Ravens move the ball with ease,
Yeah.
like on the ground.
yeah, which
in
is probably
air.
the first time that's been that way against the Chargers a little bit. So maybe Atlanta definitely look at that and can find some ways.
Who does their main corner go to? Do you reckon that goes to Palmer
No, McConkey.
in the slot? I reckon Palmer was getting targeted something shocking
Yeah.
last week. He looked good for a tutty.
Yeah,
This will be an all right game. Is it? It's in Atlanta.
in
It's
Atlanta. Yeah,
indoors.
yep. No, it'll be an all right game. I think, and a lot on the line right now for Atlanta too. They've let the last 2 slip, so there's a lot on the line. So they need to get going.
Atlanta's $2 at home.
Yeah, they need to get going. But yeah, on the
I'm
line.
gonna tip the Falcons due to the Dobbins injury. I reckon they can plan for more passing, and I reckon Falcons can get
Yeah.
after them a bit,
I'm going to lean towards the Falcons too. Yeah.
just because they're at home.
Yep.
But it's a 50-50 game.
Yep.
Next game's pretty big.
This one's pretty big. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. This one, yeah, is very big. Cincinnati favourites.
Yeah, I reckon I can see why. I don't know about Pittsburgh. Actually, Cincinnati's defense is so bad. I still think the Bengals are a better team. Like if the Bengals can put up 30 points, the Steelers just struggle offensively.
I still think Pittsburgh win.
I'd love to see the Steelers go down. Imagine how good it was watching Jameis Winston just beat the Steelers. And the way they were playing, the Steelers have the worst game plan.
You hate the Steelers,
They're
man.
just the worst to watch. Every week,
I love watching them.
mate, they are just pox.
No,
they don't.
mate.
Like Najee Harris, he has 1,000 attempts for 1 yard. Like, just give me something. Like, give me something.
Are they not bad to watch?
Like Pickens doesn't even get a tutty. Like,
I love it.
Just throws.
I'm
it
going
to the
Pitts.
worst.
I'm going Pittsburgh here, mate. I reckon
I'm going to be going
Pittsburgh,
Bengals, and
you know.
I hope Jamar Chase breaks
Warren's
their
getting
heart.
himself a bit more involved in the game. He looks like he's a bit more dangerous than Najee. I like the look of that. So I think Pittsburgh,
enough
mate.
of them. Had enough of them.
They'll bounce back, mate. Don't worry. They will bounce back. I can't wait to come in here next week.
What did we see last week from the bank? We saw the run game, didn't we? We saw Chubby get in twice. Maybe you get on a little Chase Brown for a tutty. All right, move on. This game's pretty big. Cardinals and Vikings. I
Massive.
can't believe the Vikings are 9-2.
Yeah, I know.
Are they just sneaking under
They're
the
just
radar?
Sneaking under the radar. Had a pretty handy draw, I reckon, as well. But they're still going. They're doing their thing and getting it done. Arizona probably had a bad loss well, not a bad loss. I mean, Seattle is still pretty strong at
were
home,
putrid
but
on offense.
really struggled offensively, which is a bit of a surprise. But it's like if you can stop Kylo, then you kind of probably stop their offense in general. But McBride still had a massive game.
Had the great
He
matchup.
Just had a great matchup there. But I think Minnesota at home will probably still be too strong.
Yep.
TJ Hawkinson,
He's due
I think he's due.
for a tutty. I tell you what, that's due. Jefferson. Fuck, he cost me. Addison would have been nice.
I thought he had a great matchup last week too, and I just.
He's only had
Anyway,
5 touchdowns.
When you've got teams that are trying to probably triple team you,
I know. Yeah, you're right.
You're going to be bound to have a bit of a tough day. But Addison got off the chain there. But I think Minnesota at home are going to be too good.
I reckon Jefferson might want to come out and just do something big.
Yeah.
Yep, I like that. Colts, Patriots.
I don't really like this game, but I think Richardson should have a day out. He showed some great signs last week. He looked very good and a lot better, and I think it's a big day for him to set the tone and really show what he's made of, to be honest, because the Patriots are struggling badly.
Yeah, it's hard to know because of the quarterback play, but if it had been Flacco and he had a bit of time in the pocket, Downs would just eat up. I feel like Pittman would get the main corner.
Yeah.
And Downs is just in the slot running a Mark Pierce on a deep ball.
Mm-hmm.
Watching Miami last week, the tight end got a fair bit, but the Colts, I just think you could probably take the Colts and Jonathan Taylor. He hasn't had a tutty in a while. And I reckon A-Chain caught a couple.
Yeah,
he ran one in, he caught one. I just think
they were okay they were okay on the run in general, but definitely a couple of tutties receiving, which
weekend massive in NFL. Like, is this a bigger game than normal?
Yeah, for sure.
So this is like everyone's at the game with their families.
Yeah.
You just never know with the home teams.
No, with the home team, especially with New England, the crowd certainly still comes. But
week, But that's why I think Miami can beat Green Bay. I reckon their defense is lifted. Let's just look. I'm going to tip the Colts.
Yep,
but
I agree.
It's ugly.
Yep.
Righto.
Seattle and oh my gosh.
Why are the Jets $2? Oh. Why are they not $5? So I can have a little go at them.
Seriously.
Why are they $2 against the Seahawks? What am I missing here?
I don't know, because they're probably playing at home. That's the only reason why they're lower.
$2 though. Like, we're talking Seahawks fee. Why are they not paying more?
Because they're shit, Tommy. Far out. They've been shit all year.
I'm with you. This is my point. They should be
because
paying
they're playing
more.
at home and they see the sheet and go, "This is the personnel that they have." They could still probably do it and score 30 points.
Seattle at $1.80. I mean,
they have done, and Seattle have found something and have been able to stop the run over the last month, and it's actually been incredible to see. They were by far the worst team in the league being able to stop the run. They were averaging 150 against them, and you could have a field day. They have been so stout over the last month, and they've come up against some really good backs and offensive lines that find gaps for their running backs to get going. McCaffrey, 65, 70 yards for him is low. That's a great effort by Seattle. Last week,
Connor had nothing.
And James Conner is a massive back that can get some yards after catch or being touched, and got nowhere near it. And he's been on fire. So I think Seattle have figured something out. So I think I would stay away from Hall potentially.
Yes,
I'm not too sure about their run game right now, and I think I would stay away from him. But I am surprised that they're probably only $2.05, to be honest, because I think they've found a way to be able to start rushing the quarterback a little more and stop the run. So you're going to be relying on Wilson and Adams a lot more, and it's hard when Rodgers can't get out of the freaking pocket.
Yeah.
So
I think Seattle's your best bet on the program. I'm sick of losing money on the Jets. $1.77, I think it is.
I think it's pretty unbelievable value, to be honest. So I'm going with Seattle there.
Yeah, I just think Seattle, and I might even. The Jets can't stop the run. Yeah. So Kenneth Walker, he's ready to go. So it could be a Kenneth Walker fill up.
Agree.
I think Garrett Wilson in the slot will be able to get a few yards. So their corners are very good. So Adams will have his field. He'll have his day cut out for him. But you'd think that there's a little bit of pass yards. But what I saw last week from the Seahawks, there's something about the game after.
Yeah.
Remember I told you about Steelers?
And
there's something about these hard-fought division games that they come out and they're all a bit flat. Maybe that's why you got $2 for Jets. I don't know, but
maybe
there's something about it. Anyway, Titans, Commanders.
Yeah, I spoke about it before with Washington. I was starting to think it's a little bit shaky over there now, to be honest. And Tennessee, big win against the Texans last week. And I know they're on the road again. They're playing at Washington, but I don't know. Like their defense has been pretty solid all year. I think Sneeds is back, so Scary Terry might have a bit of trouble, there. It's going to be a tough matchup for him. And really, Washington did not get the running game going whatsoever last week. They come up against the number 2 team in defense right now, and their run game has been elite. Run defense has been elite, and I think Robertson Robinson will have a tough time, and Eckler's questionable.
He went down injured as
I know,
well.
And Eckler's questionable too. So
Titans maybe this week?
I like the look of the Titans here. I think they've been able to get going. The young fella Westbrook Akina has been on a tear right now. Ridley's been doing his thing, but he has really come about, and Levis has certainly found that connection with him. Been in the end zone a couple of times, and I like Tennessee at $3. I really do. I think they can get this done.
I agree with you. Just because of Robinson got banged up.
Yeah,
Eckler's out concussed.
Yeah,
Terry gets sneed.
Yeah,
and they just allowed Dallas to put up. I mean, the defense got a tutty late, but 20-odd points.
Yeah,
Titans are pretty stingy normally.
They are. They're very stingy.
There's a guy that hasn't scored a touchdown all year. Do you know who he is?
For Tennessee or for...
Plays in the slot and he's a wide receiver.
Ooh.
I'll just tell you his first name. Tyler.
Boyd. Yeah.
Now, if that's not the biggest Stewie Jew, he had 55 yards last week and 6 targets. 5 catches, I think it was, or 5 and 5. He's a guy that in the slot, I reckon he might be able to get a tutty this week. Him and Ridley.
Sneaky one.
Yeah, I think him and Ridley can get to work. I really like the Titans at $3.
That's a big smoky.
This is a really good play. This is what I would have liked to see from a couple of other games where you get some odds. Like Miami, I thought, give me $3.
That's my smoky for this week. I like Tennessee, to be honest, yeah. So I'm going to go towards them, I think.
Let's keep moving. I think you're spot on. And if I looked at last week's game against, with Texans, Nico was pretty good, but he's a beast. But I really think you can get to work with the tight end. I think Zach Ertz might get a few targets and he might even get in. But I think look at the inside because of the corners.
Good point.
All right, Texans, Jags. This could be a fill-up. Houston, $1.43, Jacksonville, $2.85. Stay away from result maybe, but you'd think there'd be a lot of offense in this.
CJ needs to get going. CJ needs to have a 300-plus game here. Well, I'm not saying you obviously put that on, but I'm just saying he needs to make a bit of a statement here right now because he's struggling a little bit. I feel like teams have slowly started to figure him out, and he's got a bit of the blues right now, to be honest. And the Texans started off strong, fell away. Mixon had no impact whatsoever
just
last
on that, Tennessee
week.
Playing Washington, their running game is gone. Get on the unders on everyone.
Like, Mixon got
22 yards.
Yeah, nowhere near it. Like
14
nowhere.
Attempts at 22 yards.
He's had 6 or 7 games 100 plus, and that was incredible what they were able to do there. So they will certainly be looking to feed him because the Jacksonville Jaguars' run defense is certainly not the same.
Green lights, the greenest of green.
And I think they'll feed him even more so, and it could be a huge game for Mixon. So honestly, 100 plus there. I'm putting my money on that. And seeing him in the end zone as well. I think it is a fill-up game, and Houston need to make a statement because Jacksonville haven't been able to stop anything.
I don't think Houston are defending well either.
No, they're not. But Jacksonville's offense is absolutely putrid right now. They don't have anybody to throw to. Gabe Davis is out now. Kirk Cousins is gone. Evan Ingram's the only guy who's been able to throw to. And their run game is nowhere near it. Their run game's nowhere near it. So I think they're going to have a tough time. And me personally, I've said what I've needed to say, and I really like Houston and Mixon and CJ need to have huge games.
Yeah, I like it. I'm just writing down some notes while you're talking.
No,
I'm loving that matchup for Mixon this week, especially after a stinker. You know what it's like with anything you do. You want to get going.
Absolutely.
Right, let's fly. Rams Saints
at the Saints. I'm going to lean towards the Rams because I just think they're the better team. That's all I can really say.
It's indoors at New Orleans. I just love that there's no weather, and it means you got Stafford v. Carr. Yeah. And I reckon,
and Stafford clearly is the better quarterback with the better personnel that he's got, and I think Rams get this done.
Kamara
and you can look at,
but
which is the case every single week. He needs to be able for them to have a chance to win the game, and that's all there is to it. But too much firepower, I think, and now that they don't have Lattimore, I don't know who stops one of the two. You got to have good luck stooping either one
Give
of
me a
them, and it
Puka
could
touchdown.
be and I think you're ready
Give
to
me
go.
a Puka touchdown this week. He
Yeah.
didn't get one last week. He's been getting a lot of yards,
Yep.
but you're not stopping him out the back. And
I don't think so either.
I think I saw Demarcus Robinson got done for drunk under the influence
The old DUI.
and a little speeding fine.
Yeah.
You'd think he might be on the sidelines for a couple. So
I
maybe
reckon
Tutu
too.
Atwell at the back.
Yeah, I reckon
just
it
as a
could
little
be a
heads
good
up.
point.
But
Don't
I
mind
like
it.
Puka for our Tuddy.
Yep. No, good call.
Against this non-cornerback
Yep.
team.
Yep.
And surely MVS doesn't go for another 100 yards.
Surely they've scouted that one up, surely, to make sure they
Buccaneers,
cover that
Panthers,
one.
5-6. The Bucks, Panthers 3-8. The Bucks, Baker Mayfield has been enormous this year.
Yeah.
24 tuds and 9 interceptions. Look,
They've got Mike Evans back, and Buck Irving and Rashad White are like on a tear.
The tight end position
And
against the Panthers.
Cade Otton is.
I mean, Evans is there, right? So is it Evans? Is it? But I really, because JC Horn's there. I just think Otton Tuddy is one of the better bets in the program. Again,
agree.
follow the trend, tight end position.
Yeah.
But Panthers looked all right. And
They did.
You can't run it against them, no. So is it a Thielen touchdown? Is it a bit of a passing game? I hope there's fireworks, none of this low scoring stuff. Traditionally, you can pass on the Bucks. So Bryce Young for 200 passing yards is a good bet. He had 261 last week against the Chiefs. There's no reason why he can't go for that again. But 200, you'll get some good odds.
Yeah, it's just it'll just be how strong their offensive line can hold up against that rush, because they get after the quarterback
So
too.
does the Chiefs, and he was that impressive.
That's good. So yeah, we'll just see in terms of how it comes up, like scheme wise, and that to see how that works. But yeah, I mean, I still think Tampa Bay should be able to get it done. I think the way they've been going offensively is been very, very good, and getting Mike Evans back's been massive.
Something about the coach that's now coaching
Very
the Panthers.
true.
He's the old offensive coordinator at the Bucks. Does that allow them to help, with the scheme and plan
It
and
can.
stop?
Yeah, it can.
Does he talk to the defensive coordinator? Hey, mate, look for this.
Absolutely,
Does
it
it
can.
mean that Panthers might have a bit of, maybe an
They might have
upset?
a couple of trickeries up there for them too. There is no
They'll be
doubt.
going for it on fourth
No
down.
doubt.
Both teams are out of contention, aren't they?
No. The Bucks are obviously can definitely win it. So or
the
their
Bucks are right
division,
there. That division's
so
weak, yeah.
yeah. So it's not.
It'd be a
it's-
pretty big game for the Bucks.
It is. It's a massive game. So it's a massive actually round for
Can you
as I
imagine
said,
the Panthers
Atlanta
come
and-
back? They're only
and,
3-8.
I know.
And who's winning that
I think
division?
it's 6-5 or something is the leading division leader with Atlanta and the Bucks both right now, I think.
Yeah.
So it's still up for grabs. So it's a big game for TB to get it done.
It is. Let's move on.
Big game.
Righto.
What are we doing here? How are we going?
Let's save it. Let's
it
come
has to
back.
be the last one, doesn't it?
Let's save
Yeah,
it.
all right, we'll save it.
We'll save
all
it.
right, we'll move on to San Fran and Buffalo.
We'll save the Eagles Ravens.
This would have been a cracking game too, but I've lost a little bit of love out of this game because the way that San Fran have been going. But I think Buffalo have given up. I think either the most or the second most yards to running backs receiving. So I think McCaffrey can be really good for that. It's a massive opportunity there for him. So I'm not sure about the rushing side of things, but I think receiving for running backs, the Bills have given up a little bit too. So I like McCaffrey in that space there. So be on the lookout for that one. I think that can get done. But I mean, geez, Buffalo have got all systems firing right now, don't they? Everywhere else,
Yeah, I'm looking at.
I don't know what's happening with Purdy. I've got no idea what's happening with Purdy. I don't know what's going to be there, but Buffalo are strong.
Well, you've lost Bosa with the oblique at the moment. I don't think he'll be back for a while. They lost.
That gives Josh
Trent
so
Williams
much
is out
time
as
to
well.
look
You got to remember they're banged up on all these main positions. A lot of money,
and the guys they're paying.
That's to say, all their money's out.
Yeah.
I really, really like Cooper here this week. I just think he's going to get. Josh Allen can have a field day here. He can just put it where he wants. So look for Amari Cooper with a little bit of time. They had the bye last week, didn't they? So they're going to just scheme up what they can scheme up what
fresh.
they want.
Yeah.
I reckon Cooper has a touchdown, and
I agree.
Yeah, the Buffalo.
And that's two hard road games for San Fran in a row. You have to go up to Green Bay, then you have to go play in Buffalo. I mean, that's tough.
Tough as
That's tough.
So tough.
So yeah,
It'd be nice to see McCaffrey get a touchdown.
I'd agree with that. I think he does it receiving. Like I think there's a big opportunity there for him. I can see it happening. But again, it's going to be, it is, I mean, when you look at it, it's like, geez, Purdy potentially not playing, that makes it hard.
Very tough.
Do we go to this Tuesday game?
Go to the Tuesday game.
Yeah.
Broncos-Browns
at
Denver. So this would be a pretty, you'd think.
I'm shocked that that's a Monday night game.
It is a bit flattening that they didn't move the Eagles-Ravens. Don't you reckon? Imagine they moved. Anyway, that's not our.
Anyway, we'll move on. We'll go on to it. Cleveland at Denver. I mean, you just can't go past. I mean, it's funny though because Cleveland have just started shaking things up and turning things on their absolute head, and I'm like, geez, can they do it again? Can they do it again?
They are very bad against the tight ends, the Broncos, and Njoku might be my bet. Last week they put Satan on Bowers, which shows you how much they respect Bowers, which cooked my multis.
Which shows you also how good Patrick Surtain is as well. That's
he's the best,
unreal.
So he just goes to the best.
I don't know if he can do that. I don't know if he can do that this week because Jerry Judy's in for it, and he's been on fire.
Jerry Judy unders, take it now.
So I'd be looking more towards
Njoku,
or the other one would be Elijah Moore. That's the two that I'd be looking at. Tillman had a kind of good period there. He's kind of got away slowly. Could he pop up? Possibly. But Elijah Moore and Njoku, I think for the Browns is going to be big. But I just think Denver they're going really well. Good defense though. I would be interested to see how they how Bo does go. I mean, Myles Garrett's an absolute monster of a man. Their defense has still been okay. They've been able to keep him in games and stuff. But yeah, they're just shaking it up a little bit right now, the Browns, and I don't want to shy away from them. 290.
Yeah,
I don't mind it.
The only way they're going to win is if they get the defense, get a couple of defensive. It's about the defensive special teams. I can't see the offense going through this Broncos defense.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's not spend too much time on this because let's get to the main game. Yeah. Let's go.
Do we have something on this?
Well, what do you want to put on it?
I don't know.
Eagles, Ravens.
This is.
You know how good
this is game of the round by a mile, a country mile.
9-2 Eagles versus 8-4 Ravens.
Just check what we're wearing. This is.
Who's on the back of your jersey?
It's me.
Okay. So you can't, I was going to say, we can do a little double touchdown. Who wears that number now?
I don't know. Maybe the guy that took my spot. I don't know.
Fuck that one, I've really, it's just digging myself a hole here. Lucky he's a good man.
You are 6 feet under, son.
Sit by Rocket next week. Righto, how do you want to cut this up? I think we need to do a joint multi, by the way, where it's no result.
Okay.
So we both pick a touchdown scorer.
Okay, I like it.
And I almost want to pick AJ Brown for you because the defense out there for the Ravens, they just give it up whatever you want.
I love it.
But there's a guy on my team, Johnson. I cannot work out why they traded for Deontay Johnson.
What is going on there? He is
nowhere
to be seen.
4 weeks, no catch, I think
He's
it is.
Like the definition of gone missing.
Yeah, it's an insurance policy. Well, why do they need him? They've got that other bloke called Wallace, who's the stud, I reckon.
Oh, yeah.
I have no idea. They played 2 tight end sets.
I have no idea.
Anyway.
I honestly have no idea there, but anyway.
Bizarre. They'll probably trade him at the end. He'd probably go to Chargers, to be honest. All right, well, what do you want to have on the line? It's Ravens are $1.70, Philly $2.15.
Is there some cash on the line here?
We'll do cash. Cash is good, but we'll be betting on it. So I think we can do something. Is there a punishment?
Oh, yeah, maybe that's more what I was thinking along the line. That maybe there's going to be some form of punishment. You might be wearing this
next week.
I may have to wear that.
I might be wearing that.
Yeah,
there's one.
Yeah,
we'll put some cash on the line.
Yeah,
how much we'll talk about it.
Is there a little pancake parlor thing for a few hours and see?
I reckon we do that because I reckon they'll meet again.
Oh, okay. You reckon they'll meet again? You reckon that's the matchup?
I've got Detroit Eagles and I've got Ravens Bills, and one of them it could potentially set it up.
Not a 24-hour gig at Pancake. We're not going to go that far, but maybe How
about go online and buy me a jersey, and I'll buy you one because the jerseys are $300.
Yeah, all right.
And it could be the player that.
Yeah, okay.
Because I've already, I wouldn't mind.
Who haven't you got?
I reckon I wouldn't mind an AJ Brown.
Wow, you want a Philly one?
Yeah, I've already got Lamar and Derek. Another jersey would be nice. All right. I might want a Jamar Chase. The way we're going here, it could be.
So it's any jersey. Any jersey
of your choice.
All right, we'll do that.
Done.
I love it.
And I'm trying to think something to give away for everyone listening. What else can we give away?
Oh, gee.
How much are jerseys?
They're not cheap. They're not cheap. What do you think?
I'm thinking we give something away as well.
All right. We can get back to it, or you want to? Yeah.
How much are helmets?
They're not cheap either. Probably looking at 500 plus, bit more.
We'll put a poll up.
All right.
Jersey or helmet.
Yeah.
We've got some contacts that can help us out.
Yeah.
But I reckon we get a voucher out there to the Aces.
All right.
The loser has to give out a voucher, and then we pick the winner.
All right, that's fair enough. We can do
I
that.
think and I'll throw some sunnies in for everyone.
Oh, we love it.
By
That's
the way,
great.
Black Friday sale for Rick's Holiday. Get online. Black Friday's a juicy discount.
Excellent. Good stuff.
All right, let's do that. So, Ravens win.
This is a tough matchup too. But
You buy me my jersey of choice from any player in the league.
Yep.
And fund the voucher for a helmet or jersey for the
Okay.
Aces community, and we'll do a giveaway.
All right. Yep.
And if I lose, same
Vice
thing.
versa.
Yep.
Yeah. Love it.
And we'll also put up a little special.
Okay.
Both pick a touchdown and a prop.
All right.
Love it.
Excellent.
All right. Well, that's all we've got for the program. Our best bet's going to come later in the week. We're recording this early. We're going to get it up. This might be the new thing. Sip's back at Hawthorn now. He's one of the main men in the coaching room developing all those young guns. There's a reason it's called Hockball, because the king was there, and it just, they just started turning it around. This bloke's fucking special. So we need to work around what we've got. And we're recording these podcasts early, and it's too early to give out our best bets. But you've just heard what we've tipped you on these Thanksgivings, and we're gonna put something up as well. So, man, I'm excited. There's 3 games on a Friday,
Yeah,
a game on
this.
Saturday, huge games
love
this
this.
week. Our bet, it's going to be, what time's that game again?
Oh, it's prime time. It's 8:25. Really, it's perfect time.
So if you're in the office, you're not doing much then. Let's be honest. Yeah, a couple of meetings.
You're
yeah,
getting a coffee in there and chilling out, mate. You're all good.
All right. Well,
Love it.
all the best. Thank you to everyone that tuned in. Huge week. Loving your support. We're going to organise a lot coming up. I think we're going to aim for a wild card weekend. Super Bowl party planning. Just little heads up.
Yeah.
But see you next week. Thank you so much for your support. And we hope that we can go 8 from 8 on our best bets. Is going to come to your ears and eyes later in the week. Cheers.